everyone. I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television, inviting you to this last edition of the 2018 season.
Where did the year go? Hi, I'm Kim Anderson. I'm on the board of MCAT, and I'm the Director of Programs and Grants at Humanities Montana.
And we have a swell show for you. And I think this is something. How many times have we been here saying it's so cold and rainy?
But guess what?
It's really nice today.
I know,
right?
spring finally did come, even though I was so doubtful for so long. Yeah.
So, dear viewer, take that as a ray of hope as we begin these proceedings. So, I have still gone to draw your attention to the fact that MCAT is conducting a area-wide survey of people's attitudes, uses, and so on, of services like MCAT and of charter cable. You have the opportunity, if you respond, to let your voice be heard in what's probably going to be like a 10-year plan of what's going to go on with local communication. And because we love you and we know your time's valuable, we're offering a $250 gift card to any downtown store that participates in the Downtown Association. There's 160 stores. Yeah, 250. But I really want to be able to fill out this survey. The survey is only available until midnight, Tuesday, May the 15th.
Tomorrow. Well, if you're watching us live, whatever.
So otherwise, ignore it.
Right.
The last thing I was going to talk about is the summer camps.
Are there still slots?
Yeah, there's still slots. Animation is hot.
Yeah.
We're offering a new camp for us in conjunction with the Historical Museum of Fort Missoula. We're calling it Montana Time Travelers Camp. But what kids can do is use the resources of the Historical Museum. They've got photographs, to inspire kids. They've got like old school buildings and stuff on the grounds. And they also have some costumes, and we'll get with MCT. So what kids could do in that camp, if they wanted to, was, what do you call that? Like a person reenactor, like Stories in Stones.
Living history.
Thank you. They can do like a living history. Like they could say, I'm C.P. Higgins, or, whatever.
Create their own little movie set in the way back.
Exactly. Or they could be like more Ken Burnsy if they want.
Yeah.
They could have photographs that pan and zoom, and they can write a story and do the voiceover and so on. So there's...
That's a fabulous
I think it's pretty
camp.
fun. And that seems noble. And then there's the ignoble.
Yeah, we know.
Zombie camp.
Zombie death camp.
Like you'll meet Jen in a minute, and one of her kids was in zombie camp, and it's a blood fest, but very good natured blood fest.
Right.
And the first 3 camps, 2 animation, 1 time traveler, they're suitable for kids that are 9 to 14 thereabouts. And the zombie camp is an all-day camp. The others are half-day. And that camp is more geared to kids who can take that kind of punishment all day long.
And run for their lives.
Right, 13 to 18 for that camp. There's scholarships available, so you just have to email us if you're interested in scholarships. Email to mcat@mcat.org. So that's all I'm going to say.
It's going to be another busy summer.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. At Humanities Montana, all I have to talk about, I think, for this summer going forward, is that our next grant deadline is August 20th. And so if you are with an organization that does work in the public humanities and you're planning any sort of a conference, festival, program that involves history or literature, philosophy, environmental theory, art theory, any of those broad humanities topics, you should go to our website and you should give me a call. And the website's on the screen now. That's good. Also, August 20th, apropos of MCAT, is our film and digital media grants.
Oh, perfect.
We only give those grants once a year. It's up to $10,000 each year that you apply. And this is primarily for documentary film, although we have given awards to 1 or 2 narrative films, but primarily documentaries.
Exciting.
Yeah, so that's August 20th, and that may seem like a long ways away, but believe me, the best grants are written, and I learned this the hard way.
Yeah, I did too.
The best grants are written over a period of time. So.
And should people call with a proposal or, before they go through
yes, always.
this rigorous thing,
yeah.
double check with a real person in a conversation at Humanities Montana.
Yeah, it just is like a knife to my heart when I see a proposal submitted and they didn't talk to me and they didn't.
And it's just not appropriate.
Yeah, they had a different understanding of what our funding parameters were or
right.
what our board's interest was, and I think, they did all that work for nothing.
Yeah.
So call me first. That's my job.
243 something something something
6022.
Okay. Well, let's introduce the first guest.
Yes, they've been so patient while we blather on.
Here is Jen and Chase, Jen Murnovsky, Chase Jones. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having
afternoon.
us.
You know it. So, Jen, you're on the board of Recycle Montana.
Yes.
Chase Jones, you're with the City of Missoula in the Zero Waste Program.
That's correct.
Well, this is swell because we're going to talk about, recycle opportunities for people in the city of Missoula.
Yep. So, there are several different ways to recycle in Missoula. And what I like to tell people with the challenges that we're facing right now with China and some of the restrictions that they have on products is it's just really important for those who want to recycle that you follow all of the rules of whatever recycling program you're participating in. Mm-hmm. So whether you're collecting out at home and driving it down to the recycling center to drop off, or you participate in some curbside service, that you make sure that you understand what the parameters are in that program and make sure that you follow those parameters, because what's happening is as we collect recycling and we're trying to find markets for it, if there's things like contamination or like for instance glass in an all-in-one program that doesn't accept glass, what's happening is all of that is becoming trash.
Whoa.
So it's really important to not only make sure that you're following the rules of whatever recycling program that you're participating in, but also empty, clean, and dry. So empty out all the contents of your containers, wash them out, and make sure that they're dry before you put them into either a collection bin or into your own bin at home. So
this is wise advice, right?
Yeah.
And I would imagine, I know it's true with the recycling service that my husband and I use.
Yeah.
That we were able to find a printout of what they accept, what they don't accept,
right.
And we just keep it handy in the kitchen because
Exactly.
Lots of times I'm going, I just can't remember about the styrofoam under the meat.
Sure. Well, and the other thing too, like again, we have what we call wishful recyclers. So you may have something that maybe it doesn't have a number on it, and it's plastic, but you just really want to recycle that. We have a little saying: "When in doubt, throw it out."
Right.
So if
you're not helping,
if you can't exactly the idea that I'll just put it in here and someone else will deal with it. Well, we've had that attitude for far too long, which is what has gotten us to the issues with China, where they just are done taking stuff that they can't recycle, and they're kind of finished being the world's trash can.
So what's happening? What happened in the past was China said, "Okay, we'll engage in a
recycling
business."
Yep.
Then things were shipped like in those huge cargo containers.
Exactly.
Or something.
Yep.
And then one cargo container would be considered contaminated, and they'll just trash the whole thing.
Yeah, that's
Or
the way it is.
something on that
Something,
order.
and that's what it's gotten to now. And it's a symptom of folks just putting whatever they wanted into the containers.
too much unusable.
Exactly. And so then it gets over there, and they start sorting out the things that they can use, and then they're left with all of this. So in some cases, hazardous waste, electronics waste that has things like mercury and lead and toxic chemicals, or just plastics that they don't have a market for. And they're burning these in huge piles of toxic nastiness, and it's contaminating streams and making people sick. So they finally just said, you know what, we're done, and they've really tightened up their restrictions on what they're willing to accept. So for the folks who wishful recycle and put things into the bin that aren't accepted in that program, or maybe have like peanut butter or yogurt or something left in them, all of the people who are following the rules, all of their hard work, unfortunately gets sent to the landfill in some cases when it's so contaminated with things that we can't accept in those programs. So.
I got you. No, that's a really good message.
Yeah.
Because I haven't given it much thought.
Right. Well, and unfortunately, we've gotten to a point now where we have to kind of be more conscientious about it. And, there's good things that I think will come from it, but just want to make sure we follow the rules.
Great. And Chase, you want to give some words about the City's Zero, and it's 0 by 50, right? That program.
That's right. Yeah, we've had an initiative going on for about 2 years now. I think I was on this very program when we launched it. It's called 0 by 50, or Missoula's Pathway to Zero Waste. Through that process, it's been fascinating. So many Missoulians have been engaged, as you would imagine. You have them as guests on your show a lot. And we've identified 4 pathways to zero waste, all of which support a lot of what Jen says around recycling. And those are access. We want to make sure that folks have a choice to recycle or compost or divert from the landfill. The goal of the 0 by 50 initiative is to reduce what we send to the landfill as a community 90% by 2050. It's a recognition that all of these are materials and they have value, and that they have a life and value beyond just the landfill as an endpoint. And so access is one of them. Infrastructure, we have a whole host of strategies about infrastructure needed to point toward that goal. We have some policy work about putting safeguards around certain materials, and then education was the one that really stood out. That gets a lot to what Jen mentioned about reducing contamination, clean and dry recycling in the proper place, so that those recyclables can actually be recycled. And so those education strategies are getting at sort of widespread understanding and knowledge of how to do that properly, and why to do it, so that folks are even more motivated than they already are.
That sounds really good too. And Scott was showing the website, so if people are watching and they're interested, they could see that website, and then Recycle Montana in general, nonprofit.
Yep.
You're on the board.
Yep.
Do you guys need help or more members or any kind
we
of
could always
reach
we could always use more members, and really the purpose of Recycle Montana is to provide a resource for folks all over the state. So if you live in a community and you wonder what recycling is available to you, we try to keep an updated list of where all the places you are that you can either drop things off or participate in a curbside program. And then we also are a resource for just questions. So we get lots of questions emailed, or people will call in and just say, I'm looking to recycle my old CRT TV, and what can I do with that? So it's a organization that strives to educate and provide resources for folks who are interested in recycling across the state.
Oh, see, that's really great.
Yeah.
So it just seems like such an important, needed thing. Like if you're on any social media, right, like you'll learn about isn't there an island of waste in the ocean the size of France or something?
The plastic.
Just horrifying stuff. Or that micro pellets are being found in fish that people are eating again.
Exactly.
It's like the jig is up.
I think so. I think people, and I think that, the message can spread so much more quickly and so much more easily now, obviously with social media, and people are becoming more conscientious and aware of what's happening. And unfortunately, there are consequences to what we consume or how we live, and folks need to. We always say in the zero waste world that there's 3 R's. Not to steal your thunder, Chase, but it's reduce, reuse, and recycle, and it's in that order for a reason. Reduce first, reuse second, and recycle. So we're not going to recycle our way to zero waste, but we can reduce consumption and reuse as much as we can. And Recycle Montana is just one of those organizations who's helping folks.
Now, Chase, do you feel like the city is on track in your plan? I mean, it's a hugely ambitious target.
It really is, but that's a long ways away too. 32
it seems
years.
like it.
As a community, and a lot of these plans that the city does is a reflection of those community values. We're very forward thinking, and we're not afraid to make aspirational goals.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's okay if we don't know every single step from A to Z. It's just having a goal of what do we envision for our community, and what do we really want in terms of values and the future of our community. And so it's an ambitious goal, but we have several great strategies to point toward that goal. In our plan, we'll bring it this month to City Council and the community for adoption. And then we'll get busy implementing it. It's already sort of happening in the 2-year process of creating the plan.
That surprises me when I didn't realize that it is actually coming up for vote, because we've been talking about it, and it feels like we are making progress even before the fact.
So many great examples of things that have already happened, and I think that just proves just how primed Missoula was for this initiative and effort, and how I think one day we'll achieve that goal. I really hope so. A couple things to add. A funny story. I spoke with a first grade class about zero waste, and Jen mentioned reduce, reuse, recycle, and I led with that, and they quickly taught me something I didn't know, which was 2 more R's that I think that can help with the whole zero waste kind of concept and initiative too, and that was refuse. I think we can start to, again, think about what we're consuming, and if there are certain materials that we aren't sure what to do with in terms of zero waste, or just to not consume them at all, we can start to refuse those. So that was a really great lesson taught by a first grader.
Yeah.
And then the other was rot. And that gets at composting.
Composting.
And that's
awesome.
really unique to the city because, the city recently purchased
the
Eco Compost,
Yeah.
which is now Garden City Compost. We're doing some really innovative things there with composting, which has actually allowed a lot of the 0 by 50 really exciting projects that have happened, like Logjam Presents has eliminated all single-use plastic and has gone to composting, which is keeping 625,000 plastic cups out of the landfill every year. So the 2 other R's, refuse and rot, to add to reduce
No,
waste.
that's really good.
I like it.
I like the rot part.
Yeah.
Maybe
Great.
hopefully we'll see more products like this. People have talked about the plastic straws that are just
Oh,
given
yeah.
whether you want them or not,
Right.
and there's a paper wrapper around the plastic straw and so on.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I guess we better move along. I'm getting the sense that there's some restlessness in the green room. But thank you
Is that the
guys so
knocking we
much
hear?
for taking the
Absolutely.
time.
Thank you very much for letting us come on and talk about zero waste.
Yes. Come remind us again in the fall.
Will do. Absolutely. We'll have more to report at that point.
Good.
Fantastic.
All right, you guys, you're going to be shown a clip by Scott. We're going to set up the next guest. We'll be back right after this.
911, what are you reporting?
My daughter, she's just lying on the floor.
What's your address?
Every year, more than 70,000 American kids are admitted to the emergency room because of accidental ingestion of prescription drugs.
Is she breathing?
Safeguard your home. Safeguard your prescriptions.
How old is she?
Keep your prescriptions locked up and away from your kids.
Is someone coming?
Okay, I'm going to get you help, okay?
Proper use, proper storage, proper disposal.
Help will be there soon.
Choices matter, Missoula.
Sergeant Greg Amison with the Missoula Police Department. I'd like to talk a little bit about bicycles riding on the sidewalks in the city of Missoula, which we see a lot because Missoula is a very bike-friendly town. I would just like to let bicyclists know that they do have to yield to pedestrians on the sidewalk safely because they travel faster than a pedestrian, so they do have to do that in a safe manner. And then when you get to a crosswalk, you are actually required to slow your bicycle down to what would be called a pedestrian pace, and you cannot begin crossing until it's safe to do so.
Missoula Community Access Television works with kids in an active learning environment where they get hands-on experience in video production. MCAT offers weekly Saturday classes that spark creativity in kids from 9 to 13 years of age. Located downtown at 500 North Higgins. MCAT Saturday Drop-Ins. Create your story.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Ranchers are the stewards of
We're back. We are back to talk about the 92nd annual Memorial Day wreath presentations hosted by the United Veterans Council of Missoula and Ravalli Counties. Susan Campbell Renault.
Hello! Hello, children! We have wreaths, do we have not?
Boy, do we ever.
And we also have wreaths.
Oh my gosh, you have gone way beyond this year.
No, actually,
and are there
this is-
52 altogether?
There are 51.
51
this year.
altogether.
We actually, normally I forget and don't bring them, but this is what we do every year.
This is amazing.
And Missoula is, whoopsie.
Oh, we knew
okay.
that would happen.
It's live.
We meant to
kids.
do that.
It's live. We meant to do that. Missoula has the distinction, and I found this out from Associated Press, of having the most wreath presentations on Memorial Day in the entire United States.
How do you like that? And
incredible.
it's, from your good offices that's
Well,
happened.
Right.
And it was begun in World War I at the Doughboy statue in 1926.
Here in Missoula on the corner of Broadway and Rye.
Right at the courthouse. And it has now expanded to 51 wreath presentations all over Missoula.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Right? Because there's so many.
Because there are so many.
You're going to go from 6:30 in the morning, and then we're talking about the Memorial Day, Monday, May 28th.
Right.
Correct.
6:30 in the morning to 4:15 is the start of the last service at University.
It's a full
It's a very
day
full
of
day.
ceremony.
And the ceremonies are very brief. We used to, if you recall, Joel, and we always had 4 big ceremonies with flyovers.
You had the flyover and the
speeches.
wreaths into the Clark
Well, we
Fort.
still do that.
Yeah.
But our honor and color guards and yours truly now have very bad knees and
Right,
very
right.
bad backs. And we have 51 wreath presentations.
Right.
So we do not do lengthy ceremonies.
Right.
So if you don't follow us, you're
You're
going to
miss
miss
it.
Right.
Now, do you have the bus this year?
We do, but it's not open to the public.
Okay.
People have to follow us. We start at
Well, at least the bus
9:30.
makes it easier.
It is. Beach Transportation for years has been donating the bus, the driver, and the fuel.
Yeah.
That is about a $2,000 donation
Oh, I'm sure.
for all of our honor and color guards.
Yeah.
And we are going to once again start at the VFW at 9:30 in the morning. We go to Karis Park, then we go to the courthouse, then we go to Western Montana State Veterans
You got
Cemetery.
it down.
Then we go to Fort Missoula Cemetery. Then we go to Western Montana, or let's see, where do we go?
Western Montana State Veterans by Big Sky High
Yep.
School.
And then we go to City Cemetery. Then we go to Annex of St. Mary's Cemetery, which is the Catholic cemetery.
Yeah.
Then we go to the Big St. Mary's Catholic Cemetery.
Right.
Then we go to Rose Park,
Excellent.
which has like 20.
Yeah.
Practically every bush
Yeah.
at Rose Park has a symbolism.
Right.
And then we end up at the Iraq-Afghanistan beautiful monument over at the University
On the
of
campus.
Montana.
Yeah.
But this year we were asked by several Iraq-Afghanistan people to do a sunrise service
Oh my goodness.
at 6:30 in the morning to commemorate the men and women that have committed suicide. And that is
Right.
going to be at Western Montana State Veterans Cemetery. You folks, MCAT, you rock. You post
Right?
all of these
You saw that on
services,
the Facebook.
and it keeps going. And
You have
so,
a lot of people share it,
and a
which is
lot of
great.
people share. And if anybody wants to email me, I will send them. If you would like to hold
Yeah.
up this little handy dandy doohickey.
Right.
There it is. It's very lengthy, folks.
It's really lengthy. So you're going to email the list if
I can
people
email
would
to
email
anybody.
to bluemountain@montana.com.
Right. And I am not shy about
No, you're
emailing
not.
it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very shy normally.
Well, of course.
That is such a lie.
Exactly.
Such a lie. But anyway, my father was a Marine.
Yeah.
And since I saw you last, my parents, both of them, were buried at Arlington
Oh,
National Cemetery.
really? I'm sorry.
No.
But what
no,
an
they were
honor.
old. They were
What
Okay.
an honor, though.
And they had a wonderful and eventful life. My father, as you may recall, was in World War II,
Yep.
Korea, and Vietnam
Yes.
Amazing.
as a Marine. And they are buried just beneath the statue of Iwo Jima, and he fought at the
Wow.
statue.
Wow.
And Memorial Day for anyone that served in the military is very difficult.
Yeah.
Memorial Day is not picnics.
Right.
It is not shopping.
Mm-hmm.
It is not parades.
Not a day off
It is not
necessarily.
a day off. It is a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike Veterans Day, which we do to honor all veterans,
Mm-hmm.
Memorial Day is to pay tribute to those who died. And in Missoula, we also pay tribute to our police and firefighters that have died. And on September 11th, 2001, almost 400 firefighters and police
Yeah.
died when terrorists slammed into the Twin Towers.
Right.
And from that moment, I was in charge of Memorial Day. I said, from now on, we are always going to honor our people, because the police and the firefighters, many of whom, by the way, are military veterans, need to be honored, because they are our first line of defense against
First
terrorism.
responders. And then
Right.
at the,
Yeah.
now that was called a Blue Highway, the Rose Garden Memorial Park. And what is that, you know? Blue Ribbon.
Blue Ribbon,
Yeah.
part of the Blue Ribbon Highway.
So it started kind of as a memorial, and then there's a wonderful firefighters memorial in
And
the park
this year,
now.
I've invited the firefighters who are active duty to help place a wreath at the base of that,
great.
and also our
Wonderful.
police officers
Right.
to help, because there's a police officers memorial there.
Yes.
Both are state memorials at Rose Park. I don't
Yeah.
know if you know that.
Oh, I do.
Okay,
Because
and-
every year, you know, we do the Police Day of Remembrance.
Yes.
That's coming up. It's every May. They
It
have
is
that.
every May.
Yep.
And so we're going to have a police officer, we're going to have a firefighter, maybe several. And of course, unfortunately, Memorial Day is also a day when people get drunk,
Yes.
And the
there'll
reason-
there'll be more police patrols.
so they may not be available if they have an emergency. But we also at Terrace Park, we do the tribute to the people who died at sea, and
Yeah.
that's the one at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And that's
And they
very
overlook
cool.
right by the Karis tent.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the firefighters come in with their rescue boat and they
Yeah.
circle 3
Are
times.
they going to do that
Oh
in this
yeah,
torrent?
well, we'll
Ah,
see.
yeah.
We'll see.
Well, it's 2
Right.
weeks away, is it?
Yeah,
it's 2
we'll
weeks
see.
away.
We'll
So
see.
maybe.
And we're gonna go. But they take one of our beautiful little wreaths,
Yeah.
and then they toss it
Toss
like
it
a
under the
frisbee.
water.
Right.
And then they circle around, and it symbolizes Father, Son, Holy Ghost. And at the moment that the wreath hits the water, then the VFW Post 209 fires the 21-gun salute. And then Tim Gress, who was in the Navy, plays taps.
Right.
And then we go on to our other, and we have the Knights of Columbus, we have the Civil Air Patrol,
Right.
we have the glorious American Legion Post 27, which was the one that started in 1926, all of the Memorial Days.
Isn't
Wow.
that something? Yeah.
And then we also have Civil Air Patrol. So it's very glorious and very lovely. And
And
my
I want
father would be very pleased.
to be very proud of you, Susan, for doing all this work.
Well, it's hard. A lot of people that came back from Iraq and Afghanistan still struggle with the buddies they left behind.
Yeah.
And Memorial Day is hard for anybody that served in the military. So we try to lessen the burden by giving them a beautiful ceremony that tells them that we're thinking of their loved ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot here, dear viewers. So once again, if you want the full schedule, on an email, just
Yes.
email Susan at bluemountain@montana.com.
And I
we
will, I'm sorry.
We also posted it though on
Yeah,
our
our
Facebook
Facebook
page.
page.
So you
but
could
you know
also
that goes
just
like
check-
a river. Like
I
you'd have to
know.
look.
You have to.
You have
You'd have
to
to
look
scroll
through
down,
all
down,
the
But
stuff.
they
Yeah.
can email me, and I was going to say this. We get people in the crowd to place the wreaths.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you show up,
You gotta be ready.
you be ready. Because I might say, you
Right.
are going to do this.
You'll have a role to play.
Yes, we grab people from the crowd and we do the wreath presentation. Aren't they pretty?
They're
beautiful.
beautiful.
They're
And
from the Dollar Plus store, bless their hearts, and we also incorporate the flowers, and it's very special. And then I also wanted to mention, very quickly after Memorial Day, we have Flag Day. And that is June 14th.
Right.
And we retire 400 tattered flags.
Wow.
This year we are dedicating it to Tim Hubbard, who was the owner of University Motors and died very tragically last year of cancer. And we are honoring him because he always flew the American flag and still does. His company has been bought out. But his family is coming and his widow, and we are going to lower a University Motors flag into the flames.
And retire.
And that's at 7 o'clock at night on June 14th.
Is it at the firehouse?
No. It is at the American Legion baseball field.
Oh, I know where that is.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I know we better go.
I know.
Thank you.
But
It's
before we go,
4:30.
you have to show your stockings off.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, here we go.
Oh, look at this. Is the most patriotic human being on the planet.
Right.
What do you think?
I think it's excellent.
It's like quite silly.
Yeah, but it's in the spirit.
It's
of it.
right.
It really is.
Yes.
Susan, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for all
for
the years of
coming.
hard work you've
It has
done
been
too.
fun to, of course, both of us, all of us are not getting older.
No.
No,
We're getting better.
Wiser, I should hope.
I'm not
sure
getting
about
wiser.
that.
No, I'm not
Me
getting
neither.
wiser. We're just getting better.
Right.
Or
Well,
tireder.
Tireder.
dear viewer, we're about halfway through the show, so
Yes.
Scott's going to briefly show you this clip, and we'll be right back with the next guest.
Happy Memorial Day.
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours. My math class from 302 was in the trenches. Davy Roth had it the worst. Fractions were coming at him left and right. He just didn't get the damn things. 2 days ago, I tried to teach him what 1/4 of 1/2 was using different sizes of blocks. Yesterday, I tried again by dividing up pizza. Both missions failed.
Oh no.
But today, I was ready. I created a combat math game where the only way to beat the enemy is to out-fraction them. Davy conquered every last denominator. My game was so successful, the principal is deploying it to math squadrons all over the school. Anywho, how was your day?
Oh, today my boss treated the office to salad wraps.
Salad wraps.
I know.
Hey, how's it going over? Oh, have a good day. Oh, I didn't see you over there. What a nice day to be out and about today. But I want to tell you something about what's going on here. Hold on a second. Let me just adjust this. Okay, there you go. Let me talk about MCAT. MCAT is doing Saturday drop-ins starting every Saturday this fall, winter, and spring season from 1 to 5 p.m. Let's go check it out. Come on. MCAT is a great way to create. All you got to do is come on down to our location at 500 North Higgins. It's as easy as that. See you there.
We're back.
Yes. Yes.
You want to do the
I get
introduction?
to be the poster. No, you go right ahead and I'll hold the poster.
Ivan McDonald is here to talk about Indigenous Film Festival is coming up this Friday and Saturday. It's the 18th and the 19th at Missoula Community Theater, 200 North Adams.
Yay.
Welcome, Ivan. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, this is the second annual Indigenous Film Festival, is that right?
Yeah, we had our first festival last year, same space. That one was spread out over 3 days, and then we got a lot of good feedback from the people we worked with that it was a really good turnout for a first-time event. And so we thought, let's just make it.
Is it as
yearly.
giant? Like, I looked on the website this morning, and it seemed like on Saturday, it was all day.
Yeah, yep. So Saturday we open the doors at 9:30. We'll have the first film is from actual local filmmakers from Browning, centered around fashion designer Belinda Bulshu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so we'll have that, a panel discussion with one of them, and hopefully Belinda will be in the audience.
Wow.
That's
And then,
exciting.
and then it just goes the whole day. We have we'll have food, giveaways, a silent auction, and one of the coolest things is that Missoula Art Museum partnered with us, and so we're doing a workshop with their artist in residence, Corky Claremont.
Oh, sure, and
Yeah.
his new installation.
Yeah. And so, and we also curated some work from them that will be in the lobby during the duration of the festival.
And the festival is Friday evening, all day Saturday.
Yep, Friday evening we open the doors at 5 on Friday, and go until the last film's over. I think we have it scheduled till about 9:30 or 10, but we'll have breaks and then panel discussions.
Right.
And
That's
it's
really great,
yeah,
the
and
discussion
that's,
part.
Yeah, and we find that the discussion is really important for a lot of people in the community because we try to make it a safe space to discuss a lot of these issues. And last year, I would say probably 60% of our audience was non-native, and so the discussion we had was really nice.
Interesting.
Yeah, and actually one of the directors from one of the films out of state is Skyping in to discuss her work.
Oh,
that's
wow.
cool. Yeah, because
Wow.
you can, and they've got projectors, in the children's
They have a very
Royal
nice
Community Theater.
very nice setup.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not too pricey, right?
I was just gonna
$5
ask,
or
yeah.
a donation.
Yeah, actually $5 a day, and you'll get a souvenir bracelet to commemorate.
Oh, my gosh.
And then,
That's amazing.
or a donation that the food bank. We're also partnered with the Missoula Food Bank, and so they'll be taking donations in lieu of payment.
Well, that is
See?
great.
I mean, that's pretty amazing. You can go to all-day films.
I know.
Like 4 hours on Friday, $5, or a Cam Tomato soup.
Yeah.
Saturday, $5, or
Yeah.
some fava beans you're never going to get to.
Yeah, because we just really want to showcase that it's a community event. We sort of designed it to be for the community, and we partnered with a lot of good community groups and orgs that have been super helpful.
And Kim, you said that Humanities Montana's in on this.
Yeah, well, we've been very pleased to have an opportunity to sponsor or give a little funding to the event in both years.
Our biggest
And we're really excited to be associated with it. I'm interested, how many films total this year?
Let's see, so we're actually just calculating it the other day. I think there's well over at least 10 to 11.
That is so impressive.
Sort of spread out. We have like the larger headliner films that will be in the main MCT theater.
Right.
And then upstairs, they've accommodated a smaller space that we could show some of the more smaller, maybe shorts.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and people can go in between. There's no readmission for that one.
Yeah.
So you can just sort of go in between and...
And Ivan, can you? So I'm sorry,
No, go
Sarah.
ahead.
Can you talk a little bit about how this event is a good kind of core event for the Missoula Urban Health Center, and how the organization decided this was how they wanted to get the word out and what they wanted to do in this community?
Yeah. So we've found a little bit that I think we've been in Missoula. The Missoula Urban Indian Health Center has been in Missoula since the 70s, but there is still some maybe not misconceptions, but just sort of maybe misunderstandings of what we actually provide. And so we just feel that this event is a good way to sort of get our name out there and just sort of, we'll have pamphlets, information on services we provide. We do a lot of community services, chemical dependency, behavioral health, and we're slowly moving into being an actual full clinic with medical providers.
Wow, that's a
congratulations.
huge
That is a
leap.
huge
Yeah, I got a really nice
Yeah.
grant from Montana Healthcare Foundation.
Excellent.
Yeah, and then we just feel there's actually some studies on it that show that most people get their sort of information about Native Americans, Indigenous people from media. And so we feel that the way we've organized the festival with the panel discussions and discussion in general and sort of the films we've curated, that that's a good opportunity for not to control the discussion or sort of dissemination of information, but just to provide a lot of contextual information that might be missing
and
or lost in translation.
To provide perceptions that are created by Native peoples themselves.
Yeah.
And, who better to tell their story, where too often it's not been Native peoples telling
So the films we try to curate a lot. Native or Indigenous filmmakers usually like our first sort of stipulation or sort of requirement, but if it is quite hard to find newer, fresher films with that, and so we just, as long as it has a Native centered story and we feel that there can be discussion, facilitated around it, we go for it.
Yeah.
Do you have one that's your favorite? Like, I'd like people just to get an idea, like, what are they showing again?
Yeah. So I'm actually really excited for the Out of State, where the director will be Skyping in.
Okay.
I'm also really excited for Before the Streets, which is sort of our headliner. It's a, I think it's pretty sure, if I remember correctly, the tribe is Mohawk from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And that one is almost in the whole Mohawk language.
Wow.
And it's sort of been on the International Film Festival circuit for about the last year. And so that one's sort of kind of hot off the presses, as well as Out of State, and as well as a new one I'm really excited for too, Indian Horse, which was actually a book. I think maybe those three are sort of the headliners, and we sort of feel that those films might not be films that you could generally get for this area, or sort of for the audience in the city of Missoula, so we just feel that being able to provide the programming they may not see has been a big thing for us.
Well, I have to say,
let's see how we're doing on time.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
We can even spend 2 more minutes.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Honestly.
This has to be a huge undertaking. I used to do a festival for years, and I know how much work is involved. So thanks from the community for doing it.
Yeah, thanks everyone. And it's pretty much been myself and my co-organizer, Lita. And then 2 interns, Snowy and Mariah, who have been just instrumental to us being able to make it as the larger scale we've done this year.
Nice. And then just to remind the dear viewers, Indigenous Film Festival at Missoula Community Theater, which is located at 200 North Adams. And it's let's just say it's Friday and Saturday, the 18th and the 19th.
May 18th and 19th.
Right. And can they go to the website?
Is there a website?
I guess? Yes.
Yeah,
they can
actually,
go to, if you go to the...
Missoula Urban Indian Health Center.
Google that.
Yep, and then in the navigation at the top, I think it's the last right link. We have the festival information, and then we also have listing for all the films and the schedule and the events that are planned.
Yeah, Scott's showing it at home. I forgot I had to
Excellent. Yep.
He's
right
wiggling his cursor.
And then the poster will be updated. I think it's supposed to be updated today.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we've just really want to honor the Native communities in the area. So as you can see, Enta'ai is the Salish word for Missoula.
Can you say it for us again?
Enta'ai.
Enta'ai.
Yeah, and it's spelt in the Salish language and the Salish alphabet.
It's beautiful.
So yeah, just try to make those little special things like that it really is Indigenous people hosting an Indigenous film festival.
Excellent. And everyone is invited.
Everybody.
For
We want everybody to show up.
No, it doesn't have to be a can. It has to be non-perishable.
Yep,
or
non-perishable.
$5 each.
Each day. And you'll get your memorial bracelet. Yep.
Yeah, memorial bracelet. Or more.
Yeah.
That's really true.
We will have donation areas set up.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Excellent.
All right. Well, we'll see you there.
Yeah, thank you so
very
much
excited
for coming on the show.
Thank you.
We'll be back right after this.
Your local library, igniting the passion for reading.
How would you like to have an endless supply of books, movies, music, audiobooks, and even ebooks whenever you want? Your library card can do all that, and it doesn't cost a thing. You can pick up a library card anytime the library is open, free of charge to residents. All you need is a picture ID with your current address. The library will then verify your address, and once they have, your library card will be good for life. Library card holders may borrow several items to enjoy all at once. Be sure to check the return dates, as they may vary depending on what items you check out. It's so easy to get access to all the library has to offer, and best of all, it's free. To learn more, stop by your local library or visit their website.
This message brought to you by the Greater Montana Foundation and the Montana State Library.
welcome, my friends, to Missoula Community Access Television, MCAT. And here every Saturday afternoon...
Please, I mean, Susan was showing everything.
We're admiring socks.
We're saying Susan was showing everything, and Nick has some socks he would like to share with you. But to the point, Nick Roberts is Executive Director of Families First Children's Museum, and they are having a fundraiser coming up Saturday, the 19th of May, at Imagination Brewery. Take it away, Nick.
That's right. Well, we're the fortunate beneficiaries of our friends at Imagination's 3rd anniversary.
They're so great.
They are so great, and they're throwing a big party all day. There's music, there's family activities, there's speaking, there's the Salamanders for family-friendly music, and then Canta Brazil, I believe, the Brazilian music in the evening. And in between all of that, we're going to be doing some family education projects and little crafts, and kids might be selling some sort of beverage, not alcoholic. And every beer, $1 will be donated to our organization.
Wow,
for
that's
from 12 to 8 all day.
Okay.
And there'll be other fundraising opportunities therein. So we'll be there partying, and all ages, families are encouraged. This is certainly what we're about and what we want to promote. And Imagination is the perfect place to celebrate
It is.
local
It's
community.
always family friendly, but we'll be
It's
even
really
more
worked
so.
out, Imagination. You had an event there, the press.
The community conversation.
Fake news
yeah,
community conversation, and we live streamed that from the place.
Beautiful.
And you know, I've done the city council since '94. That's 24 years of city council. And when they first presented Imagination Brewery, like, it's a brewery for the community, I was like, what? You know, I was trying to put the two together, like the brewery and the nonprofit. But it really has been such an excellent partner for so many nonprofits,
And
just like they said they would.
They have delivered, and in fact, I think they updated on their chalkboard of menu of beers and events, and inside they've had something like 1,300 events in 3 years. So
for the nonprofit community to educate, to fundraise, to
that's right.
just sort of network.
They have achieved this community center, center for discovery or change or collaboration or whatever it may be. It's happening, and we're there not only celebrating our partnership with them, but it's a time for us to unveil what's happening with us, which is a lot.
Yeah, so let's segue to that.
Should we? Okay.
And so you're fundraising for specific purposes, for ongoing expenses?
Yes.
All of it.
In that, we have had such a monumental shift in recent months from our exit from our longstanding facility on Front Street.
Right.
We are in a very tight little knit group of staff in a temporary administrative office hosted by Western Montana Mental Health Center. Thank you very much to them for letting us be there while we finish out a unit in the Tool Crossing building adjacent to our friend's Spectrum Discovery area.
How is that going?
Well, the construction phase is just starting, but it's mostly done. I don't know if I can say that. I'm going to say that, though. Let's say it's mostly done anyway.
Half
He's a generalist.
So we do have it's so new that it's not fully completed, and so we have the opportunity to design the space to be amenable for families, for not just a young child playground of sorts, which was our old museum model. We want this model to be more progressive and more experiential learning for families, for parents and caretakers, to get something from the interactive experiences in the facility, and not just the place where you sit down and let the kids go crazy for 45 minutes.
Which was fun, though, too. I mean,
everybody needs that. We're going to give you that opportunity, but there will be opportunities for big people to engage with their kids and with each other.
That's a whole nother step. Yeah, I think that's important.
And so we're in this exciting time where we're working very closely with Spectrum to look at collaborative programming and an internal hallway that will connect the two facilities so that we can just immediately increase our capacity to serve people.
Right.
And we're excited about what all that's going to bring, and what it will mean is brand new exhibit experiences. We've offloaded the majority of our old inventory, some of which was damaged by smoke exposure that we had in the old facility. Some of it was just tired and needed a new home, and some of it we repurposed through partners like Home Resource and Donation Warehouse. But in the new space, we need money.
Right.
And we'll be working on that in a number of ways, this event being one of them, and we'll get to call attention to the dynamic new new exhibit ideas for the new programming for the new space.
Yeah.
So we'll get to tell that story a bit and celebrate Imagination's 3rd anniversary successfully.
Great excuse for a party.
Yep.
No doubt. I always get worried, and Kim knows this, that people won't know where to go.
Thank you.
Imagination Brewery is right across from the Poverello Center, but a lot of people don't know where that is. So I want to say West Broadway.
Yeah. And I have not brought along the address. But what you can do,
just Google the thing.
Well,
The blue building.
That's right.
By the river.
Right by the river.
Directly across the street from the Fresh Market.
Yes.
Grocery store. There's like a Taco John's there. It's across the river from the baseball stadium.
Right.
But we have the event. Obviously on Facebook, we have a shared event there. You can find us. We also have it posted on our website, which is childrensmuseummissoula.org. You could call us at 721-7690 and ask more questions about when to come for what. We're going to have one of our instructors leading some family engagement activities. And like I said, show up for music. The Salamanders play at like 2:30 for a couple hours. Then Canto Brazil begins, I believe, at 6:30. And in between those, will be storytelling and engaging everybody there with the cheers and some reflection on who we've been in our old space and where we're going and who we're going to be there.
And you'll be right on that big, beautiful, raging river. So
yeah, you'll probably hear it because they've got that patio space in the outside, and the sandbox will be open for the little and big people to play, and so it'll be a great day. Yep.
Saturday, May the 19th, beginning at noon.
Correct. Noon. It's open to close. Their whole opening hours are noon to 8 o'clock on Saturday, and
every beer you drink means $1.
$1, which is extremely generous. We think there'll be plenty of beer consumed and other beverages. Non-alcoholic beverages will be on site. As I said, there'll be young people, little young people serving lemonade and the like and things like that.
Excellent.
So it'll be fun.
All right, Nick, we better go, but thank you for coming on my show.
Thanks for having us. Come cheers us on Saturday.
Oh, yes. We'll do.
You know what?
See ya.
It's not over yet, because there still is the Missoula Interfaith Collaborative with a really interesting project called Missoula Works. And we'll be right back with a little more about that after this.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
For too long, corporate tobacco has exploited our people, manipulated our practices, and profited from our addiction. No more. If you struggle with commercial tobacco addiction, call the American Indian Commercial Tobacco Quit Line today at 1-855-372-0037 and talk to someone who understands.
We're back. Okay.
Yes, hi.
We're back with Paige Pavlone and Martin. They're here to talk about an interesting aspect of a great group in town, Missoula Interfaith Collaborative, and this project is called Missoula Works.
Missoula Works and the Get It Done crew.
Yeah. Okay, well,
tell us all about it.
Okay. So Missoula Works started off as a staffing agency about a year ago, and in our early phases, we were just doing staffing, and we hadn't yet grown into the community that we had made those business connections that we could place people into jobs yet. So we are a part of Missoula Interfaith Collaborative, so we work with a lot of different businesses and congregations in town. So people were getting referred to us looking for employment, but we didn't have places to plug them in. So there was a big urgency that people needed to find jobs ASAP, and they were showing up at different congregations' doorsteps saying, I'm sleeping in my car. I'm pregnant. I have a baby. We have nowhere to go. I want the opportunity to make my own money. And there was no venue for them. There wasn't really a day labor opportunity for them. So we said, okay, well, these folks, we were hearing their stories, and these folks needed jobs ASAP, and we had all of the pieces in place to put them to work. And we were just looking at the wrong places to find work for them. So we got really grassroots and started calling up people that we knew, members of our congregations, and said, hey, if we train this person and we insure them and license them and give them the opportunity, can they mow your grass? Can they paint your walls? Can they move that furniture for you? And really
do this.
Yes, exactly.
That really labor intensive stuff that people may not have the time for or the physical ability to do, but then providing a platform for other folks to come to work and then make a paycheck come Friday.
Right.
So that was called the Get It Done crew. So we do a staffing agency and the Get It Done crew, and we run both things. And how the model has kind of changed is that as people come to work on the Get It Done crew, we get to know them, we vet them. They work with Martin, who is the project manager for that organization. And we see what their strengths and weaknesses are, and we understand what kind of struggles they're dealing with. Sometimes that's addiction, different phases of recovery, homelessness, you name it, the gamut. And if we can keep them on the Get It Done crew to work with us, that's great. Otherwise, if we can transition them into a full-time job, that is the goal, to work them on the Get It Done crew and then position them through our Temp to Perm Missoula Works staffing side.
Whoa.
Does that make sense?
It's an amazing
It does indeed.
program.
And Scott's showing people at home while he was.
Yes.
That website. And if people were interested in requesting services, can they do so through the website?
They can actually call us at our office.
Okay.
And we had an article in the paper on Friday, so we just got like inundated.
I bet
with
you
work.
did, because it was a great article.
Yeah,
It really was.
It was.
So we're still playing catch up and just, trying to run a business and go to work every day and make sure we meet all of our meetings, but still try to catch those calls, because we're a super small office, but we have a staff of about 15 to 25 people, depending on what's going on and juggling. So we have a lot of balls in the air. So if people want services for Get It Done, lawn service, we've got a daily lawn crew that can come out and do it, or an as needed basis. You don't have to get on a cycle. So if you're going on vacation, you need us to do it for a short time, we can do that. And then anything else. We've been over at the flooded areas, helping people pack up their houses. So you name it. Things that people are just like, I need bodies here to help me right now.
Right.
Or like tomorrow, we can usually accommodate those requests.
That's really brilliant. And this came as problem solving from the Missoula Interfaith Collaborative.
Yeah. So they were trying to think of a social justice cause. They wanted to start a benefit corp. So all of our proceeds support Missoula Interfaith Collaborative. Nobody's getting wealthy off of what we do. And they wanted to think of a job that could, or an organization that could put people to work and provide an opportunity to give people a hand up and give them an opportunity to go to work and stand on their own 2 feet.
And we've noticed this, over the years, because MCAT is downtown, right? We're open during the day. A lot of people without means or have been marginalized for various reasons, they would love to work.
Yeah.
It's like, don't you have anything for me to do? Of course I want to get paid. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Right. And that's been difficult for yours truly, because I want to do it. But I don't have any of what filtering or helping or the things you talked about, that would make that system work. But I just wanted to observe that very often people want to work.
Yeah.
They really do. It's some weird thing about our animal nature. It's not like, people would say, the lazy welfare people or whatever. It seems to be an extraordinarily small, I've never met anyone that would be happy to just receive stuff and sit around.
Oh, yeah. And then also to ensure the client, a homeowner or a resident or whoever, that the person that's coming to their place of employment or their house or coming to their yard is vetted. It's not just, they have the stigma of what that might be perceived as, of who's going to show up to their house. But being able to provide reassurance, like one of our crew leads right now, he and his wife are living in the Poverello Center. And you wouldn't know by looking at them that they're chronically homeless or what their circumstances are, what phase of recovery they're in. But they're coming to work every single day, working 10, 11 hours a day and doing a bang-up job. But they're not just doing a good job, but people are like, wow, they knocked it out of the park.
To get out of the park.
Of course,
We've
you gotta
show up, you gotta go to work, you gotta improve your, if you choose to improve your current life situation.
For like a poor person, I read this thing like, the poor person has like an incident of catastrophic financial loss, like health or automotive or a series of things, and then they lose $2,000. They could become homeless just like that.
Totally.
And to recover would take 4 years of nothing going wrong. to get back where they were before this
so
unfortunate
terrifying.
series of events.
Yeah.
happened.
So just to reiterate for people, if you have a job that needs doing, whether it's in the office or in the yard or wherever it might be, the thing to do is to call the Interfaith office, right?
Missoula Works office.
Missoula Works office.
Yeah.
Missoula
We're
Works.
all in the same office, but
so call Missoula Works. And there's and someone will help you, right?
Someone will help you, yeah. Leave a
Did
message.
we put the number up?
Yeah.
926-3400.
926-3400.
Yes.
And can people find the phone number on the website?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
And go to the website and find the phone number.
MissoulaWorks.com.
Well, it's a great idea.
Yeah, I guess we better go.
Yeah.
But thank you
Thanks for
so
having
much, for taking the time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you got to be the last.
That's okay.
It's okay.
And this is the last show of the season, dear
That's
viewer.
right.
Lord willing, we'll see you back here in the fall. For MCAT, I'm Joel Baird.
And I'm Kim Anderson.
And we'll see you down the
In
line.
September.
Yeah. Take care.